back to the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. A big welcome back to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here and for your friendship. A special thank you to anyone who has reached out to me on my Etsy platform for a personal reading. Thank you guys for the confidence that you've shown in me and for giving me the chance to get to know you on a more personal basis. Some of you have got to know very, very well. So thank you guys so much for that and for your friendship and for your presence here. And if you have found yourself here for the very first time, I do pick a card readings on this channel. I try to do them a couple of times a week at least 3 or 4 times a week. So if you're into tarot, then just pull up a chair, grab yourself a cup of tea and some snacks, and we'll have a little chat because we're all friends when we gather here together. Today's pick a card topic, we're looking at the person on your mind and what thoughts and feelings flow through them when they hear your name. So you may be in no contact with this person at this time. And we have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 with the Disney Villains Tarot and the orange leaf. We have pile number 2 here with the Tarot of the Divine and the purple leaf. And we have pile number 3 with the Light Seers Tarot and the red leaf. So whichever pile or piles or leaves are calling your attention, there may be a message waiting from Spirit today, and my timestamps are listed below. Please protect yourselves in the comment section. I have noticed recently that there's been a lot of spammers and a lot of scam artists. They're offering spell casting and all sorts of things. Please protect yourself. I do not approach to offer paid readings in the comments section at all. I do not approach people in the messenger area of Instagram at all either. So please make sure that you're protecting yourself and that someone that is posing as the Tarot Cottage or posing as someone who has good intentions is actually me or actually someone with good intentions. So just please protect yourselves. But I'm going to jump right into pile number 1. Again, today's topic is the person on your mind. What energy, what thoughts and feelings flow through them when they hear your name? Pile number 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the orange leaf today, or to the Disney Villains Tarot, and this is your reading. What thoughts and feelings does the person on your mind have when they hear your name? So maybe they see your name or someone mentions you. So what instinctively happens to them when they hear your name? We're going to start with tarot today. We're going to move into some oracle and some thought cards, so some message cards. And then we're going to end in a charm bowl for you today, of course. We have the devil. Oh, and look at even the world back of deck, the devil amidst the world here in this card too. There's a lot of entrapment and even perhaps codependency between the two of you because there's obsessive thoughts that come about when the devil shows up. So it's like when they hear your name, they almost feel like they've conjured it up because they think about you incessantly anyway. It's like, well, I've conjured this up. It's like I've made it happen because I've thought about them so much. And it's something that I feel like it used to feel good, you know, to hear your name. And now it hurts. It might hurt their heart a little bit because there's unfinished business here. 9 of Pentacles. I also just saw the Queen of Cups. I feel like you're the one that got away. I feel like you are the one that got away from them, group 1. And I feel like as much as they've accomplished a lot, and I feel like they have, I feel like they're sitting in a position that from the outside people would think you've done well for yourself. It's like you're still, it's like there's this one piece of their heart that's really, really heavy. And I mean really heavy. I can feel it in my heart space because you feel like you've slipped through their fingers. The Hermit with the moon, yeah. And they even dream about you too at this point. So when they hear your name, it sort of, they don't react to it. I feel like they try really, really hard not to react to it and to remain grounded, at least in their appearances. But it definitely has an internal reaction, or they would have an internal reaction to it. And it would feel, to be honest, as much as they would act like it didn't bother them, there would be an equal amount of force of almost a sucker punch to the gut when they hear your name, because it's something that sounds so sweet but also sounds devastating because they don't have it. And we have the King of Wands, the 5 of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Six of Cups. This person is really focused on the past, and they spend a lot of time there. Their mind is there in the past quite a bit when it comes to you. But I also feel like their position probably does, or maybe it's your position, but somebody's position doesn't really allow for a lot of wiggle room here, or for the reunions that are kind of really hoped for. There's the Seven of Swords. I think that this person does sort of actively try perhaps to move or inch forward, or to stay forward focused in the very least. As much as their mind is in the past, their feet are present. Their feet are moving forward. They're perhaps in another relationship, or they're working on their coin. They're just plodding carefully forward. With this on their shoulders, though, with all of the weight of this connection on their shoulders, and the constant reflection that does come in regards to you, and in regards to the past of this connection. I feel like they don't want to wreak havoc on their position or your position, but when they hear your name, Pile 1, it definitely makes them pause in those plans. So if they're a person who's very focused on goals and focused on building and all of their responsibilities, they seem very practical in nature. They seem really dependable. They could even own their own business potentially, with this King of Wands, very kind of focused, forward focused. You are the thing that can take them right out of that thought and throw them right back into the past. It's like you stop them in their tracks and you give them reason to pause. As much as they're proud of what they've built, a part of them, maybe not the whole part of them, but a part of them would be willing to scrap that, in lieu of shifts and changes with you. Part of them would be willing to do that. Can we clarify the Devil, please? The High Priestess. So when they hear your name, it almost looks like it's like a devil kind of climbing out. It's like it's escaping. It's escaping because they do try to keep it suppressed. There's the Eight of Pentacles. This person tries to stay very focused on work, and they try to distract themselves when it comes to you with work. We have the Ten of Wands. But all they're doing when this happens is sort of stacking up a lot of pressure on themselves. They put a lot of pressure on themselves, regardless, this person does. And as much as they act very stoic in that moment, it's almost devastating. It almost it's like fills them with a million thoughts at once. It's not just your name comes in and they have a reaction. It's that your name comes in and they're flooded with 1,000 memories. They're flooded with 1,000 feelings. And it's hard work. I almost feel like I could cry. It's hard work for them to not react. It's hard work for them to hold on to all of those thoughts and feelings and keep them inside. It's hard if they hear your name and it's somebody talking about you. It's really difficult for them to not ask questions or probe, or it's like so hard. And here's the Emperor. The Emperor is oftentimes the father figure of the deck, so this person could have children, so take that as it resonates. And if they consider themselves the Emperor, here is the Empress on back of deck, right along with the Six of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, because it's like they've gained awareness. There's the Two of Cups. Oh, it's like they've gained awareness on what this connection actually is. And they really wish that they could share that with you. And it's like they wish that they could, when they hear their name, they wish that they could start fresh, but it's like they wish they could go back to the past and start there. It's like, I wish I knew then what I know now. It would be a game changer. Everything would be different, is what they say, or what they think. Because as much as they're suppressing it, there's an acknowledgement here too that needs to be a lot of like real carefully planned steps to execute or navigate any type of change in the way things are with you as well. It feels like it could be a no contact, or in the very least an emotional disconnect at this moment. What do they think and feel when they hear your name? What do they think and feel when they hear Group 1's name, please? We have Ganesha. It says, clearing away obstacles, protection, and guidance. And you know, the King of Wands is often showcased with a gecko, which is a symbol of protection. And I do feel like this person is protecting this connection. I don't think that they want to necessarily release it. They try to distract themselves from it because I think it's painful. I think it's hard to persistently think about you. But they do it. And so they do feel like when they hear your name, it's like it's almost magical to them. It almost gives them a sense of connection with you. It's like they feel like they're connecting with you in that moment. And eternal love, happiness, harmony, and fulfillment. And that's what the truth that they've realized. And it's like, it's not as much as they perhaps try to push it down, try to distract themselves. It's more apparent than ever that their feelings are still as strong as ever, that they have not been able to move forward, that they are really stuck here, because here's the Seven of Wands. They're challenged by it. They don't even have their 2 feet solidly on the ground on how to figure out, you know, how to overcome this challenge. But nothing is more apparent than when they hear their name that they're still stuck on you, because it thrusts them into this feeling of ocean of eternal love. And you can see it. It's this rainbow, this full spectrum. They've seen things clearly. And I often say that on my channel, you know, we come to know the truth by the way that it feels, and the devastation, it feels the burdens, the 1,000 thoughts. That's how they've come to know the truth. And the truth is the Empress and the Emperor rule together. You know, the truth is that they're a perfect match. But even when the truth is there are still difficult steps that we are asked to take to honor that truth. And that's where we're falling short here. We have yin yang, creating harmony through balance. They desire that transformation as well. You can see their eyes are closed. I feel like there's definitely a no contact situation here for you, pile number 1. What do they think and feel when they hear pile 1's name, please? A moment's regret. 16, the Tower. Nostalgia. Idealizing the past with you, fearing that they've made a big mistake, but also worried about perhaps practical concerns, practical bills that they've have now in place. It's like if I go back to the past, if I keep focusing on that past, then I'm going to miss out on my present. They also really worry about like the bridges that they burned in the past too with you. We have here choices. Oh, and it came out reversed. It's like the Lovers reverse, number 6. When they hear your name, they feel blocked and restrained. And they get thrust into the choices that they made with your connection in the past and their current decisions that they're making now. Sometimes the Lovers energy really speaks about decisions between partners at this moment. This back of the deck says, I wonder what will happen next. Ready for adventure, precipice of change, and pause before action. Because part of them believes that this connection is so magical that when they hear your name, they're wondering if it's this evidence of a precipice of more. It's like, is more coming? Is there a momentum gaining because all of a sudden my manifestations, my thoughts are being brought into the reality, are being brought to my awareness in front of me. Let's pull some message cards from this person. When they hear your name, what are their current thoughts? What are the first thoughts that pop through your mind, their mind, when they hear your name? I want to see you so badly. And we started with the Devil. It's like there's so much want there. There's so much desire. There's addiction. I feel like I've lost you forever, though. What are their thoughts when they hear your name? High school sweethearts. So take that as it resonates. I am dealing with collective energy, but that's sweet. You make it easy to fall in love with you. So when we're talking about the past, they're going way back to the past, to school days. And the Six of Cups does speak of the innocence of the connection in the past as well. And that's how they view you now still to this day. Even if a lot of time has passed, they still view you like that. Did you ever feel the same? They wonder when they hear your name if you're thinking about them too. If you have the same internal reaction that they have when you hear their name. They are creeping your social media. So when they hear your name, it sort of instigates this desire to see you, look at pictures of you, seek you out. So whether they can actually accomplish this or not, that's very varied here on the collective reading, but they definitely seek out more. It's like a drug, right? The moment we get a fix of something that we're kind of addicted to, we want more of it. So as I said, if it's a mutual friend bringing you up, then they would be really hard pressed not to probe that person further, but they're careful about it if they do. I am ready for a fresh start is on the back of that deck. What are their thoughts when they hear pile 1's name? I wish that I had fought harder for this connection in the past. It's like swimming with regret. It's like the moment you get when you get a really exciting flare in your energy, but then instantly it's nerves and sadness, and I'm afraid of rejection. And I feel like that's why they didn't fight as hard in the past, was because of that fear of rejection. You sent me mixed signals. I'm letting go of the past, but it came out reversed. And I'm ready to act, but it also wanted to come out reversed. Because as much as and I do, as I said, I do feel like they try to inch forward. But whatever momentum they think that they're gaining, the moment they hear your name, they feel like they get snapped back to reality. It's like they're on the end of a suspender, and it's like somebody's holding on to it. They can't actually get away. Back of the deck says, I didn't realize that I loved you until it was too late. Let's end with a charm bowl for you. If you're new to the channel, I do end each pile with a charm cast with the teeny tiny tarot and with some charms that I've collected over the years. I always encourage everyone to see what they see in the charms. I definitely have messages or meanings for my charms, but I definitely encourage everyone to see what they see in the charm bowl as well. So what is this person thinking right this moment for pile number 1? What is the thought that goes through their mind right this moment? Magician, wanting to communicate with you. It's like a desperate need to communicate to see if it's mutual. And I feel like they convince themselves they're crazy in order to inch away. They're like, oh, it's naive of me to think that this is mutual, but that's what they want confirmation of. They are protecting this connection, and they want confirmation that it's a mutual feeling. This person could be a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. In the bowl today, we have the letter C. We have the lock. Somebody's keeping their feelings very under wraps for you. I think you're keeping your feelings for them under wraps too. We have the Empress with the starfish, which is talking about healing for the divine feminine here, and feeling like you're being separated perhaps from a soulmate or from something that is innately belonging to you. We have the 4-leaf clover for luck from the divine masculine. We have the watermelon. I think of that song by Harry Styles, Watermelon Sugar. We have the leaf of change. We have 2 little locks. So there's 2 locks in the bowl today. So 2 people holding secrets. We have a connection. We have the world here on the atlas or on the spiral. And so it's the desire for reunions, unfinished business. And we have Libra energy. All right, pile 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comments section, and I would love for you to subscribe to the channel by hitting your notification bell, hitting your like button, and dropping me that comment, because then I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me. The only time that I will I do comment on my comments. I do, respond, but I don't offer readings unless you've won the reading. And I will make it very, very clear that it's me through the comment section. So any other person that's trying to approach you for readings or spell casting, they may be a scammer who's trying to take advantage. So please protect yourselves. But please do drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for that free reading. You can also check me out for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. That link is below as well. But I hope that you have a beautiful day, and I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the purple leaf, or perhaps here to the Tarot of the Divine, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, when they hear your name, what are the first thoughts and feelings that come into their mind? So we're going to start with tarot today, but we're going to move into oracles and some message cards before we do your charm pool. But let's start with the tarot. What are their thoughts and feelings that enter their mind when they hear your name? 7 of Cups. The Knight of Swords. I feel like there's a lot left unsaid and a lot of confusion between the two of you. It's like Seven of Swords, yeah. And this confusion has just left sort of a smoke. You can even see in the back of this card, where there's smoke, there's fire. And it's like the connection never finalized, or there was never closure, or it's like we never put it to bed properly. We never put it. It makes me think of that I keep hearing that Amy Winehouse song where it says, we said goodbye with words, but I've cried 1,000 times. Like it's, or I've died 1,000 times. Like there may have been the goodbye, but there wasn't an actual closure here. There's a lot of confusion and a lot of things that this person wishes that they could get off of their chest. So when they hear your name, they immediately get snapped back to all of that confusion and the clarity that they wish that they had. The 5 of Swords. I do feel like they try to remain stoic and unbothered when someone brings up your name, or if they see your name, they try to act unbothered. But I think that they are actually really hurting inside when they see your name, and they think about if they've hurt you. That's the thing that bothers them the most. They don't know how you perceive the situation. So it just leaves them with a really uneasy, confused feeling, Because it's like, it's almost like it's something that they never could quite wrap their head around. It's a connection that never completely came to be, or a connection that never fully realized. It just sort of ended with masks being worn and nobody really clarified anything. And then it just sort of, maybe it just ended abruptly. It's like it ended before they even anticipated it to end, and they thought they had more time. And so as soon as they hear your name, it's just they're instinctively brought back to that moment, or to the last day, or to this last opportunity that they had with you to clarify everything. And how they wish that they had taken off masks and said something and not feared so much and not let their fears become the better of them, because now they're like, my worst fears realized. We have the 10 of Swords. And the confusion, the 7 of Cups doesn't have to be an inherently negative energy. It can really be about options and the ability to choose. But in this case, they're like, it's so confusing. It's like, it's devastating. It's devastating. Because it's almost like they let it stay a fantasy for them, because you felt like you were out of their league, or you felt beyond their reach for some reason. They were too afraid to let the cat out of the bag in the past about how they felt about you. But they're like, I've grown up now. They've evolved. They've grown. It almost feels like the one area they were not able to evolve and mature, though, is within this connection. It's like if this person feels like they have a handle on everything in life, they may not feel like they have a handle here. And they wonder if it's over forever, if it's over for good. We have the King of Wands. When they hear your name, pile 2, when they hear your name, it's not just their thoughts that get thrust into sort of turmoil, but it's their libido, it's their lust for you, it's their want for you. And you can see the King of Wands here is playing a drum, and it's like he's going charging into battle, or he's going charging in with his intent. And I feel like that's what they want to do when they hear your name. They want to charge into, because this is just a support to my 5 of Swords. They want to charge in towards you, but it would wreak havoc on them, on their position right now. And I feel like they may have moved forward into something new, into something else, into a new foundation maybe. But it really ignites something inside of them that they thought that they had released, that they thought that they had let go of. They thought that they had released this expectation, but then your name gets brought up. Knight of Pentacles. And they realize that they haven't moved forward as quickly as they thought that they had. We have the Hanged Man here as back of deck with the High Priestess. And the Hanged Man is a certain amount of surrender. You know, there's no sort of rile up. They act perhaps a bit unbothered here, kind of similar to pile 1. They act a little bit unbothered, but it's because they're complacent a little bit in their position now. And they do feel like they're complacent. And it could be because they have a lot of responsibilities and they want to be seen as somebody who, like, they've evolved, they've grown. They're no longer this impulsive, you know, knight. And I feel like this person could have had like a really sarcastic humor, a really good humor or something, but they're no longer this person. They've evolved into someone who has responsibilities, who has a really solid plan, a forward focus moving forward. It's like this is the type of person that has gained this 5-year plan, or they have plans for their future. They're working on building their coin up. They're really focused on that. So they want like they have moved, they have evolved. But in this case, emotionally, this still devastates them. It's still very, very devastating. And they think about how they let that ship sail. You could have just been friends in the past here. Here's the 3 of Cups and the Sun. It feels like a friend's situation that should have moved forward into something more romantic, and it never did. Or there was really unclear, muddled lines between the 2 of you. But they let that ship sail, and when they hear your name, it instantly brings them back to that pain, because it is devastating with the 10 of Swords. That's depression and anxiety and fear and sadness, and it's like throwing in the towel. There's nothing else that I can do. Let's get some oracle cards. Whoops. We already have one on the floor. We have new life. And I do feel the 3 of Pentacles is here. I do feel like you or this person perhaps both have moved into other realms. We all move forward, you know. And I heard this recently online, this person say that there's differences between a life story and a love story. We all have love stories, but there's certain people that we can't build lives with, which I thought was really poignant. So they may have moved into another foundation, because there's the 4 of Cups. They're like, there's nothing I can do about it when I hear your name. And I have to wear masks in my environment. But I also feel like your foundation as friends perhaps started with masks being worn too, which is sort of, it's precipitated our habits of wearing masks in our relationships. So we haven't learned that lesson yet. We haven't gained mastery. But when they hear your name, you do inspire them to wish for a new life too. Fork in the road. It's like an empath, and it's the 13, the death energy. It's like you inspire the desire for a rebirth. You inspire them to sort of let the cat out of the bag about their true feelings, about this energy from the past, because the King of Swords wants to wield the truth forward. He doesn't want to keep it suppressed. They don't let it out. They don't like express themselves in that moment. But as soon as they hear your name, they want regeneration. They want more. They want to make solutions for reunions too, because they feel like if they had just had the courage to take their mask off in the past, the two of you could have literally built a life together, had a family together. And that's why it feels so devastating, because it feels like quite the, it feels like kind of quite the loss with the Ten of Swords, quite the sacrifice. What are their thoughts and feelings when they hear pile two's name, please? You have here gossip, reverse. They're worried about other people's gossip. And I feel like they do hear, maybe they hear your name through gossip or through grapevine or through other people, through mutual friends, or they try to sort of get your name brought up. And instinct. Back of the deck is the trickery. But when I say they wear masks, I feel like they do. I feel like this person is almost the type of person that sort of gears their personality based on the company that they keep. And we all do that to a certain extent. You know, if you're hanging around with someone who is, who doesn't like to swear and who is very kind of, I don't want to, you know, they're just really proper. You try to be on your best behavior around those people. Whereas people that you feel comfortable with or people that you know would curse and swear, you would curse and swear around them. It's that sort of, that type of energy where they would gear their attitude or their personality based on their company that they keep. So they are really two-faced when it comes to this connection, because they don't admit it, that they feel the same way, or that they feel intensely in general. They don't admit that, even when your name is brought up in idle gossip. I also feel like they don't react because they're afraid of fueling that gossip. They don't want to add their name to it, and they don't want energy to get back to you, perhaps. We have the trickery card because the ego, you can see it represented by the dragon. The ego will try to stop us from taking potential, and it'll stop us through our fear from planting that potential. And it was their ego in the past that had reins over them, that caused this sort of big winter, or this big, in this connection, the winter in this connection, because it's even winter in this card. And instead the squirrel is this representation of our higher self, of the true nature of our experience, and how we have to do things afraid if we want any type of reaction, if we want any type of abundance to come in. We have to take those risks. And that's the biggest lesson that this person has learned, and that they continue to learn every time they hear your name. So let's get a couple of message cards here. What goes through their mind for pile number two's person when they hear their name? You have here, I am afraid to look bad. I'm afraid that other people will notice that I feel something for you. I'm afraid of other people's opinions weighing down upon me, and so I wear masks around you when your name is spoken. We have communication, truth, clarity, and success, the Ace of Swords. But you know, it's interesting because the Ace of Swords, I often say, will sometimes come with a little bit of a sting when it brings in its truth. So when they hear your name, it stings a little. Well, it doesn't sting just a little bit. It hurts. It says, yes, I can see things clearly now. And it hurts because that hindsight is always 20/20. And it hurts because they didn't notice what was right in front of them until it was gone. They didn't realize that it was love. They were interested. They wanted to move forward, but their fear stopped them. But they see things clearly now. I still haven't made up my mind. The Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords has a lot to say. He has a lot to say, but he's still scared of executing it because he's like, well, what are the consequences if I rush in there and say it? And he's often very impulsive and will do just that anyway. But this person still has so much on their chest that they want to express. And they're still holding on to this connection. I'm still holding on to this connection. I'm still holding on to you, is what they're saying. I just want everything to be perfect, the Knight of Pentacles. So when they hear your name, they're stuck between wanting to communicate and wanting to like talk about you and wanting to reach out to you. And then they're kind of stuck between that rock and a hard place because it gets snapped back into reality really quickly. Like, oh, but I've got responsibilities and I've got things that I need to take care of in this realm right this moment. What do they think about when they hear pile 2's name, please? I want you so badly. I think that came out in some configuration in a different card earlier too, so that's interesting. I'm afraid you won't like the person I've become. They've evolved, they've matured. You're afraid you won't like that person. When they hear pile 2's name, what goes through their mind? They imagine a future with you. They allow themselves to fantasize about what could have been, but they don't act on it, you know? Here's the Hanged Man. They're not acting on it. You are so attractive to me. And I think about the day that we met. As soon as they hear your name, they think about the day that you met and how they wish they could go back to that moment and shift everything. You make me hot. Hot in the face, too. I feel like they get rosy cheeks. I instinctively look down here at this little 3 of coins. Their little red rosy cheeks. You deserve better than this. And I really feel they think that when they hear your name. They feel bad that they left you in the dark, too. And it's a wake-up call every single time. Back of the deck says, they wonder if you can try again. Let's get a charm bowl for you, pile number 2. A charm bowl for pile 2. When pile 2's person hears their name, what is the first thought that pops into their mind? What is the first thing they think? The very first thought. Page of Pentacles, the Lovers wanting to talk to you. They're instinctively like, I want to talk to this person. I want to talk to them right now. They would drop everything in that moment to just be able to look you in the eye and speak to you and gain clarity over everything and express themselves. It's like they've been waiting for that opportunity to let you know how attractive you are to them and to let you know how connected they still feel to you. The Lovers is here. It's how they want to move this also into a innocent realm and into something more. Oh, there's a lot of charms today. I underestimated the size of my little fist. So we have M and Q. We have the paper clip. There could be a work or a school connection here. We have the little angel child too, so children. We also have love on the foundation. So there could be new foundations in place right this moment with the 3 of Pentacles for you or this person. Libra energy. We have just be. Says, you are my sunshine. So this person really focuses upon you and thinks about you, dreams about you. We have 2008 on this penny. It's about communication. That could have been the last time maybe that you spoke to each other. We have the mermaid, which is a symbol of a temptation or a siren, someone who pulls someone away from a responsibility. We have the stethoscope, so there could be a hospital nursing connection. We have weakness is a choice in the bowl as well. I'm going to bring this closer so you guys can see it. We also have here the horse, freedom. We always have a choice. And the slow handsaw, which depicts a slow burn or a slow separation or pain because of the length of time here. All right, pile number 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comment section. If you do comment below, be sure to hit your notification bell and your like button so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me that I do on a monthly basis. You can also check me out on Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope that you have a beautiful day. Hello, pile number 3. You are drawn to the red leaf, which is my favorite color, or here to the Light Seers Tarot, and this is your reading. The person on your mind, what thoughts and feelings go through their mind and their heart, flow through them when they hear your name. So we're going to start with tarot today. We're going to move into some oracle, and then we're going to finish with some message cards and a charm bowl, of course. But we will start with tarot. What flows through them? What energy flows through them when they hear your name? We have the Seven of Pentacles. You know, when they hear your name, they get stopped in their tracks, it feels like. Stopped in their tracks. You feel beyond their reach or something. You feel like it feels like it's impossible. You can see this person looks like they're floating away, and there's a little piggy up there. It's like if pigs could fly, I could have this person. I feel like this person stays very focused, or they attempt to stay very focused. And so when they hear your name, it throws that focus off. And it brings them back to something that feels really impossible. And they feel like maybe you feel the same way too. I think they hope that you feel the same way too. I personally feel like you probably do feel the same way, but they're not sure. We have the Four of Wands. How do they feel and think when they hear pile 3's name, please? Knight of Pentacles, yeah. The King of Cups. Back of the deck is the Ten of Pentacles with the Page of Wands. I will say this, that I do feel like this person could be married. So take that as it resonates. Of course, this is a collective reading, so I'm dealing with collective energy, but I feel like this person could be in a commitment, because when they hear your name, you give them reason to ponder that commitment. You give them reason to wonder, did I choose correctly? Did I make the right choice? Am I building the life that I want with this person? Because why do I feel this way when I hear this person's name? You know, like it just really strikes them in a very emotional way. It makes them ponder. It takes them away on this sort of fantastical adventure. And I don't know if you guys ever watched that show years ago called The Reading Rainbow. I heard that song, The Reading Rainbow. It's like it takes them on an adventure, and we have this Four of Wands, which is talking about how in their fantasies they think that the two of you could have built a life, could have gotten married, could have built, had children perhaps. Like they think about that. They think about that quite a bit when they hear your name. There's also, though, this acknowledgement that they have a lot of responsibilities that they have to sort of keep themselves on the ground. They can't let themselves float away. So they let themselves kind of float off for a moment, and then they get dragged right back to the ground. But they can't stop that persistent thought. So if there's an initial mention of you, it's like it persists all day long, maybe all week long, maybe all month long. From that point forward, for a while, they would just consistently think about you, even though they attempt to bring themselves back to ground every time they float away, because it's hard. This person could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And when they hear your name too, pile 3, they think about the freedom that a relationship with you could represent. You know, I feel like this person has a lot of responsibilities. So your energy, their memories of you, this is a very healing space for them. It's a very personal space and a very quiet space that they hold you in. So it takes them to that space. And in that space, they have freedom. And in that fantastical realm where they dream about you, they have the power to say whatever they want and do whatever they want and explore this connection in any way that they want, because they would love to have a relationship with you. Or they would have liked to have had a relationship with you, but for some reason it feels impossible to them now. They feel like you've slipped away and that they have to heal from that energy. This person could actually be like a healer themselves, or they could even be like I'm just getting this impression of like a medical professional of some kind, or someone who helps heal people, and how they're trying to use some of those healing techniques on themselves. Can we clarify the Seven of Pentacles, please? What goes through their mind when they hear pile 3's name? The High Priestess. Well, this has been common across all three piles today. They don't react when they hear your name outwardly. They don't react in an outward way that people would be able to notice. Because even when the Seven of Pentacles, you can see that the seeds are planted. And first of all, their seeds, their feelings for you were planted long, long ago. And it's something that they're able to bury until someone brings you up, because that's when it applies pressure to the surface. But they still try really hard not to react. And I feel like because they have a lot of complications, they could have a family. The King of Cups is sometimes the father of the deck, so this person could be a parent. It has everything to do with energy, has nothing to do with gender. So the King of Cups can represent a woman. It just has to do with the emotion behind it. And that there's the Ten of Pentacles again. So it really does feel like this person has made commitments, and that's why you feel so impossible. But when it's like they can't help but get swept away by it. They can't help but get swept away. And I will say that the Ten of Pentacles is wonderful and lovely, and it builds up generational wealth, and there's children playing here, and there's a dog, and all of the practical goals that we have. You know, it's the picture perfect, you know, view. But what I really seek is the Ten of Cups. I want emotional fulfillment, and they haven't expressed that they're in an emotionally fulfilling environment, which is why they allow thoughts of you to whisk them away to something more fulfilling in that realm, perhaps. We have the Ace of Cups along with the Knight of Swords, the Page of Swords. When they hear your name, it inspires them to look you up. It inspires them to try to keep tabs on you, or to try to gain access to you in some type of way. I don't feel like they would contact you, but I feel like they try to look you up on social media, perhaps. I also feel like they use it as an opportunity to sort of understand themselves. It's like they're trying to gain mastery over their own experience. And I feel like you may have even went to school with this person years ago too. So I feel like they even could look you up even in let's say an old yearbook or something like that associated with the environment that the two of you grew up in. And Page of Cups. Oh, back of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. And we have the Moon. In this Wheel of Fortune, you can see it almost looks like a bride on one side with all these scythes, and there's this timepiece in the middle. It could be a marriage, as I said. It could be a marriage that really has put a stick in the wheel and clogged it up a little bit. When they hear your name, they think about, again, they think about the investments that they've made, and they think about how long they've been in that investment. And they think about how realistic it would be for them to wiggle themselves out of that investment. And I don't even know that they're 100% serious about that, but they let themselves fantasize about it. Here the Moon, there's the Sun. Oh. And the Moon is talking about the constant reflection of you. You can see this person looking into the pool, and she's flesh. But when she looks into the pool, she sees just bones staring back at her, because they are putting up an appearance of things when it comes to their feelings for you. And they hope that it doesn't show. It's like when your name is mentioned, they hope that there's enough of a reaction that other people will be able to see the truth, because they feel like they do a poor job at it here with the Sun. They think about how they want to bring clarity to the situation as well. But it's like they stop themselves. Again, they're not acting upon it. The Knight of Swords is shoving this sword of truth down his throat so that he doesn't act upon it. They suppress their truth because it would require them to change directions drastically in their life. And so it's like it fuels them. As soon as they hear your name, it starts to fuel all of these possibilities of what could we do? What actions could we take in order to create a new emotional start here? But then when they think about everything they would have to survive and all of the dangers and all of the effort that would have to go in to, they feel like it's too late for me. It just feels like it's too late. It's like the desires I have here for an emotional new beginning, it's like it lacks a good plan. And so I'm stuck in this mode of reflection forever is what it feels like. Hiding my truth and sitting on my own truth that the epiphanies that and there's the Two of Cups. The truths that they'd like to share with you. You can see about what influence you actually had on this person, and that they have been holding on to these feelings for you for a very, very long time. How do they think and feel when they hear your name? Thoughts and feelings. We have here knowledge. And the Page of Swords is the student of the deck. They've learned so much. They have really evolved. It's like they've moved forward, but you see so many pages here, right? So it's like emotionally they feel stuck in the past with you, but they feel like they've evolved in every other area. And you've helped them do that. But they also would like to bring in some peace and some clarity into the situation. I think of the Six of Swords sometimes when I see this card as well, because they'd like to communicate with you. How do they think and feel when they hear pile, please? Name, please. We have here change. And there's the dragonfly on the rim of your cup. And here's your dragonfly, the number 12, the Hanged Man. And they've surrendered to where they sit, but they've also feel stagnant in your connection. And the dragonfly spirit talks about a change that is actually possible. They can change directions. They can choose a new path, but it would take a lot of effort. It would take a lot of effort with that dragonfly, because the dragonfly has to be really hungry. It has to be an active participant in its metamorphosis. You know, it is placed under the water as a little nymph, and it has to eat everything smaller than it is, and it has to survive so many dangers just to grow strong enough to climb up a reed and take flight. And in this case, in the Ace of Cups, it's raining. It's like we've done so much, but now it's raining. How do I navigate this? There's so many complications this person feels. Back of the deck says passage, though. Four of Wands right in the center, passage here, the standing stones. It takes empowerment to enter into this gateway. But what we can be waiting for us is so much celebration, and that's what they think about as well. It's like, what am I missing out on because I'm here with this responsibility? What opportunity, what ship did I let sail because I kept my mouth shut in the past, or because I didn't take risks, or whatever caused the separation? You know, what am I missing out on? We have here, truth be told, number 14, the Temperance. When they hear your name, I feel like they wear a mask, but it's hard for them to maintain it. And they think about the truth of the situation and how if they had willed it, what difference would this connection be in at this moment? And I will say too, if they're in a commitment, which is it's very strongly suggested here from Spirit that they are, they're wearing a mask there, and it sort of applies pressure to them in that moment to be honest, but they aren't. Like, they aren't. It would just cause all sorts of a issue in their connection or in their relationship. We have Between Worlds, and we also have By the Book. And I really feel like this person goes by the book with this Knight of Pentacles. This is somebody who wants to be seen as dependable. They look after their family. They gain a lot of sort of confidence because of what they've built there. It's not that they're not invested in their environment. It's just that there's an emotional attachment to you that they can't shake. You know, they just can't deny it. The by the book is number 11, which is the justice energy. But although they're leading by the book, and I feel like they could have children, they're not being 100% honest in that environment. But they are worried about bringing forward honesty because they're worried about the cause and effect of what could happen if they brought it forward. So they just keep all of their thoughts of you to themselves. Even when they hear your name, it's number 44. Even though we've had the Four of Wands and we had the passage cards with the 44, they just leave you in the thought realm. Let's get a few message cards. What goes through their mind when they hear pile 3's name, please? I'm sorry if I hurt you. This is an emotional person. This is somebody who would think about other people's emotions. As I said, I almost feel like they are a healer, or they are someone who is really sensitive. You make it easy to fall in love with you. I also saw high school sweethearts, and that card actually came out as pile 1 too, so take that as it resonates. You are my happy place, and you are the place that they escape to in their mind when they feel overwhelmed. But I have so much to lose. I loved you then, I loved you still, I always have, I always will. Whenever I'm with them, I think about you. And back of the deck says, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? This person worries about what your perspective is and how you view the situation between the two of you. Let's get a couple more message cards here. What goes through their mind when they hear your name? I wish I could share my good news with you. This feels like this person just wants to be able to be a part of your life sometimes too. It's like they feel very separated from your experience. They feel very separated from like your friend group. It's like they don't have access to you. I feel you leaving me behind. And when they hear your name, they may actually hear news of you and the things that you're up to or the things that you're doing. You could have mutual friends, perhaps. The truth is, I love you unconditionally. Oh. So many things remind me of you. You may have like a name that is, I don't want to say common, but that they see it regularly. Like it's not even that they're just hearing your name. It's like they're seeing it regularly. I can't stop thinking about you. So when they hear your name, they cannot stop thinking about you. It precipitates more. And they do have this energy of like, I'm sorry if I hurt you. I wish I had treated you better. So they're very apologetic to you as well, pile number 3. Let's get a charm bowl for pile number 3 in the bowl today. Please, Spirit, if pile 3's person could say anything the moment that they heard pile 3's name, what would they say or think in the bowl? It's the first thought that pops into their mind when pile 3 is mentioned. Whoops, missed it twice. How did she not make her public school basketball team, you ask? That's how. We have the 7 of Wands and we have the 6 of Wands, both sideways, and the strength energy. There's a lot of obstacles in the way here. It's not even about determination here. It's that you can see, if you look really closely, this person's wearing 2 different shoes in the 7 of Wands, which indicates needing to plant our feet firmly on the ground. It's like I have my foot in the past, but I have my foot planted in the present, and I'm struggling with all of that. They definitely wear masks around you too. As soon as they hear your name, they instinctively throw that mask on and tame their desires to be sort of determined to seek out more information. Because if it's a mutual friend, they have to fight themselves to not ask questions, because it'll make them appear too eager. We have the Anchor. We also have Capricorn energy. So the anchor, the tree of life, somebody who feels sort of stagnated in this connection. They don't know how everything sort of came to be the way that it is. Like, how did we get here? There could be family units as well with the tree of life here. Okay, so there is also temptation with the mermaid. We have the bird in flight. We have the fairy. I think about something that is beyond my reach, or something that, it's like when pigs fly, it's like the fairy feels extraordinary or feels beyond my grasp. We have Our Lady in the bowl, Mary, so that could be a significant name, but also motherhood. I think about motherhood with her. We have the planets, so a connection written in the stars, and we have the stethoscope, a hospital nursing connection, or perhaps a blocked heart chakra. All right, pile number 3, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, I would love to hear your story below in the comments section, and I would love for you to subscribe, hit your notification bell and your like button so that I can bring you guys more content. If you do decide to subscribe, please be sure to drop your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading with me, and be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can notify you if you're chosen the winner. But I also offer an opportunity to win a mini read over on Instagram, and I'm going to be posting about that one soon. And I offer private readings through my Etsy account, and that link is below. But I hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a beautiful day.